Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your weekly dose of Rand and Jez, the Xbox 2 podcast, live once again. How you doing, buddy, Jez? It's been a while. I've missed you.
Yeah, it's been a while. Very busy. Been moved back to Germany this week, so I've been traveling a lot. Had to catch up with work then because I had a day out. So my schedule's all over the place right now, and which is why we're doing this impromptu cast and the off schedule, I guess. But we'll be back to Wednesday next week, right?
Yeah. Well, this week was bad for you because you were like, I won't be, there Wednesday and Thursday, and then I was like, all right. And then my basement flooded yesterday, which is going to cause some issues because we have people coming over in a little bit. So this podcast might be a short one, so don't expect a long one. It might only be 20 to 30 minutes. But there are some things we wanted to talk about first and foremost. Have you been running any articles recently, Jazz? I don't know. Have you published anything recently?
Nothing major, I don't think. I mean, what has even happened this week? We've had Destiny 2. That's a thing now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Michael Pachter coming out and saying that. What did he say? He said that Scorpio's power doesn't matter and stuff.
Ooh, Scorpio's power doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Interesting. I I
Um,
I, I did not. Well, I mean, I guess that depends on the price. I mean, if the Scorpio's $400, then it
mm,
probably does matter. But if it's like 600, yeah, it probably doesn't.
yeah.
You know.
Um,
But usually with Michael Pachter, whatever he says, the opposite's true most of the time.
to be honest, I don't really follow Michael Pachter's predictions much, but he's kind of notorious for being hit and miss. I think, but the thing is, I've always said this that Scorpio can be 20 teraflops, but if it doesn't have the games to back it up, it's kind of it's kind of a moot point, the whole power argument, because Michael Pachter's point, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing slightly, but what his point was essentially that we're heading into the territory now where resolution has diminishing returns. And he's saying that sub 4K on PS4 Pro isn't going to look that different to true 4K on Scorpio. Now, I don't know how true that is personally because I've never seen a 4K. I haven't seen a 4K game yet personally, and I haven't used a PS4 Pro personally. But you know, it's hard to envision without that frame of reference. But at the same time, I'm inclined to agree that Scorpio needs the Xbox ecosystem needs more heavy hitting exclusives than it has been getting recently. We talked about this a bit last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we definitely did. They definitely need like a kick-ass exclusive like nobody even is thinking of because we all know Halo 6 is going to come. I mean, that's not going to really wow anybody, but they need, I don't know, they need a surprise, like a huge surprise, right? Outside of like Xbox Game Pass, outside of all these games being 4K on the system or whatever. They need something that truly is like, oh damn, right? Like
Yeah,
to get people's bloods flowing again. Um,
indeed. Oh, I did
what do
just
you
publish an
think?
article actually just now.
Oh, you. What did you think about the Destiny 2 stuff?
um, I played Destiny's base game quite a lot. I reviewed it for ICXM back in the day. I was very much not impressed with it. I thought it was a bland, terrible, boring game. Frankly, I felt like it was, the story made no sense and it was just ridiculous. I found the combat to be grindy, and I'm not really into the whole loot 'em up stuff. And the fact that there was no matchmaking for the whole raid system just sort of made me stop wanting to play it because I was too busy to organize the raids and that sort of stuff. So it just ended up not being my kind of game, I think. But Destiny seems like one of these really contentious games where some people love it and adore it and go crazy for it, and then other people just turn their nose up at it and hate it. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground with Destiny. And also
Yeah,
as the whole marketing deal that Destiny 2 has with PlayStation 4, where the content will be exclusive to PlayStation for a year, which effectively it reduces the value of the Xbox One version.
Well, okay, so I did a video about this, and people were like, well, Xbox fans were saying this, they were champagne or they were saying it was okay in the 360 era when they did it with Call of Duty, but now they're upset about it. And I think there's a difference between the Call of Duty like DLC stuff and the Destiny 2 stuff. Like the Call of Duty stuff was always everybody buys the game day one for the same price and they get the same content. It's just that whether it's the 360 owners or PS4 owners now, they get to just give their money earlier to get the DLC 30 days earlier. 30 days is nothing. And it's the same content, it's the same price. With Destiny, it's a little bit different because say you're getting on PS4, I know, right? Ooh. Jazz is getting on PS4. I'm going to get it on Xbox for $60. You get more stuff like out of the gate.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different in my opinion. A lot worse, and especially when it's going to be weapons, because weapons are what matter in Destiny, like strikes and all that stuff. But the weapons are what matters. But people were upset about this. I thought it was par for the course. I knew it was going to happen.
The thing is, with this whole argument, I haven't watched your video. I just haven't had time. But I've seen this argument going around on Twitter, and all I see are these false equivalencies over and over again. People say, "Oh, Xbox did it in the 360 era, so it's okay now." It's not the same. It's not. Times are different now. I mean, back in the day, it used to cost tens of thousands of dollars to ship an update, right? So there was, if Activision could offset the cost of those updates by making them exclusive, they would do that. They had an incentive to offset those costs without just baseless greed. But now we're in 2017. Updates to Xbox One and PS4 are free, so these big developers can patch in this content free, and it costs them nothing. So all this is purely marketing. And I also see people say, "Oh, Rise of the Tomb Raider is exclusive for a year," but the thing is, Microsoft funded the development of that game. So why would they fund the development of a PlayStation 4 game? So
right.
That's why it was exclusive, and then they did the port to PlayStation 4 of their own volition afterwards.
Well, I always heard that if Microsoft didn't fund Tomb Raider, that they would have released it in episodic format like Hitman.
Yeah, I can't believe that, because Square Enix are a very risk-averse publisher. They hate risk. They will do everything they can to get rid of risk, and that's why Hitman's episodic, because they can cash flow its development, and they've got a steady stream of cash in. There's less upfront investment when they're offsetting costs on an episodic format. But I think episodic format worked okay for Hitman, where narrative takes not I don't want to say it takes a backseat, but it's certainly not central to what Hitman is.
The narrative in Hitman's not front and center. I mean, like, you have an overarching story, but it's literally the opening cutscene and the end cutscene, and it's just like, kill the person however you want to do it. It's not important, like the story is not necessarily as important as it is in Tomb Raider, where like it's constant story stuff. I don't even know how that game would have worked with if it was broken up into episodes.
Yeah, I know.
So, hey, I know. I just wanted to, give a shout out to the 91 people watching on a Friday, which at fucking 2 p.m., which is not our usual time. We really appreciate it. This is going to be a short podcast because, like I said, we have people coming over to rip up the carpeting and all this stuff because of the flooding.
Rand's house is flooded.
Yeah. I showed pictures of Jazz, but we did wanted to tease something, or at least I wanted to tease something. So next week, Scorpio blowout. Not going to say by whom. I'm not going to say what. Just say that next week, towards the end of the week, you will get all the Scorpio information that your little heart desires.
And by the way, if there's anyone from Xbox watching this, I didn't tell Rand this. It was someone else.
Yep. I have so many birdies that tell me things. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that information, and I'm sure we will talk about it. We might have to delay the podcast until that day, right?
Yeah, maybe. It's not my blowout. It's someone else's blowout, but there is going to be Scorpio information next week, and I might post something tomorrow. Maybe. Who knows? We'll
Yeah.
find out. But
I'm just saying there's gonna be some really, really exciting stuff. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all. Like, I know what it is. I don't really mean to say that in like an arrogant kind of way. It's just that I know a lot of people, but like, yeah, it's happening
not
next
me.
week. So
Not me. It
not
wasn't.
Jez don't tell
Wasn't
me
me.
nothing, but I'm just saying, keep your ear to the ground. Next week will be the week. But anyways, let's
Rand's the true insider. I'm just making stuff up. I'm fake news. Rand's the real deal, man.
nothing about that. But anyways, um, the marketing for Scorpio, right? I did a video about this where Aaron Greenberg's really going on a rampage. Like when Destiny 2 trailer hit, when the Star Wars Battlefront, when that was announced for that trailer, he came out and was like, "Oh, imagine what all this stuff looks like on Scorpio," And he's really kind of feeding into it, man. He's really, really, really feeding into it. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if anyone's ever seen me talking about Scorpio on other podcasts, I said on the Reddit podcast that I said on the Reddit podcast, the Reddit Xbox Party Chat podcast, which is a very good podcast, by the way. I said there that we have a list of Scorpio games on Windows Central that I was trying for weeks to get verified. But I wasn't able to get them independent and verified. But so there is a lot of information out there, but a lot of it's just rumors and speculation and stuff like that. But we are heading to this point now where Scorpio dev kits are in the wild, and there are prototypes flying around, and the marketing specifications are being sent out to marketing companies and all that sort of stuff. So leaks are going to happen as we get closer to E3. So it's going to be a case of, is Microsoft going to just start announcing this stuff themselves, or is it going to start trickling out from different kinds of outlets? So
yeah, it's definitely going to be. Yeah, I mean, it's getting exciting. We're almost at E3. We only got a couple months, like 2 months away, and it'll all be here. I'm interested in seeing what the games are personally and things like that. So yeah, what anything else going on? Because I think I might have to end this podcast like right now almost.
Man, it's been a bit of a crazy week for both of us. I've been moving country. Rand's turned his house into Bioshock's Rapture, and so I think people need to be prepared for next week. I think there's gonna be some cool stuff for next week. Not from me, but as Rand says, from other people. So
yeah, well, I don't know if you can hear, but it started. So yeah, I told you it'd be short, and we're gonna have to end it.
Sorry. Well, thanks for joining us, guys, for this quick one. We're gonna get this on the go on Wednesday next week, right?